Hello and welcome back to the final Castle Combe Karting Championship video of the season. This is round 8 and the season finale. About to go out on a very wet track. I'd actually been hoping for some rain at one of these rounds and here we have it. So let's see if I can actually perform how well I think I might be able to. Going out in practice and immediately spinning. Yeah, not the best start. As you can see, very wet track. I have not done any wet racing in over 10 years, and the last time I did, I was very bad. So maybe I should have expected this a bit. But yeah, you have to take some really weird lines at this track because the racing line is so rubbered in, it's just so slippery. See, just taking some really weird lines through this chicane, which is normally flat out in the dry, but just coming up the top of the hill, you just flat out at quite a high speed, but the wheels are still spinning. But yeah, let's see how I get on through the rest of this session. Yeah, not the best start of the day, but that was actually a lot of fun in practice. But now we're into the serious stuff. This is what matters. I'm starting in 4th place, so I should be on the grippy side of the grid because it's the outside that's grippy. But we're going to have to see what kind of start we can get. But this is the top 30 in the championship all at this race. So everyone here has got through here by being quick. And that means we can have a tough racing today. I get a half decent start and slot up into now looking for 3rd place. I'm on the grippy part of the track. Take the wide outside and I look to get up into 3rd, but driver on the inside has sort of drifted out wide a bit. That means I'm squeezed into the barrier. That's just kind of how it is on the day. I actually get a half decent run out, bit of contact, and then I just lift off really early. Just lets the driver on my right go down the inside of both of us. That should have been me going into 3rd place. I was off trying to fly grip when there wasn't any out there anyway. It's just meant I've lost 2 positions. So now I'm in last place and got to try and see if we can do better than that. It was quite a bit of fun in these very, very greasy conditions, trying to find where the grip was, but it's such a hard track to work out where to go. Again, I get another good run out of the corner, but now I'm on the inside, so I brake really early, get it stopped in the apex. I see the other drivers. He's gone out wide, he's probably going to go for a spin, but then I'm on the slippery inside, and he's just driven straight past, and that's just so demoralising when I'm clearly quicker than the driver ahead, but every time I try and overtake, he's just able to get back past. So I've just got to get my head down, keep the pressure on. 3rd place is gone, but maybe I can try and get that 4th place position. And these laps, they're taking so much longer than normal that we actually ended up having less laps in every race. There's only 4 laps when it's normally 5. See, driver goes on that inside where I was last time, gets a very poor run out, and then goes back to the wide line. And I dive up the inside, almost do a bit of a block pass, but that's totally fair in these kind of conditions. And now it's final lap, I'm in 4th place. Going up to the top corner and I just brake way too late, lock up the rears, and you have to be so gentle with the cars. You have to be so gentle on the brakes and throttle and steering, and I'm just not at this moment in the day. I'm just used to being able to just absolutely be really aggressive with the braking and throttle. You can't be in these conditions. There you go, checker flag, 5th place when I know it should have been at least a 4th, if not higher. Disappointing start, but now on to Heat 2. Getting my low grid position starts out of the way nice and early. Let's see what we can do from the back. I get a half decent start, and I think about trying to go on that grippy outside, but I'm like, let's just go for the apex and see what happens. and I just get a half spin. Fortunately, I don't do what some drivers did, which was go for the inside and then drift out wide into everyone. I made sure to be respectful. And then coming through the chicane, I just get a terrible run out. Everyone is finding where the grip is. And yeah, it's really hard to keep motivated when you're just losing time. And then coming up to the top corner, a load of chaos. And because I was too aggressive on the brakes, I've locked up the rears, and I'm just going straight on, so I know I have to bail out of that one. Whereas if I had been a bit more gentle, I probably would have been able to steer into it and gain 2 positions. And then, mistake there again, puts me a long way back. And then coming up into the chicane, on the greasy stuff, brake a bit too late, and that's the spin. And that was kind of race over. That was probably one of the most worst parts of the day, just knowing that I was already 30 seconds back, or maybe not that much, but a significant amount of time back, and there was no chance for me to catch up. And that I just didn't have the pace. You can just see through that final corner. I'm just lifting off and lifting off. It was really tough. But yeah, now starting in second place on the outside. This is probably where you want to be. The pole position start isn't the best place at the moment in time. But just terrible reactions. Driver first able to come across. So I go right round the outside. Nice grippy tarmac. Driver on the inside drifts out wide, slams me into the wall. That's kind of fair, but I'm not happy with that, and I dive up the inside, probably one of my best overtakes of the season. Then driver on the inside just swings out wide, hitting into me, even though I was ahead the whole time. Wasn't happy about that. I'm in second place, except I was in second place, because once again, brake too late, too aggressive on the brakes, lock up the rears. I'm in last place, again. What a terrible start. Just not happy with myself for that. Again, just so many mistakes this day. It was tough after each race, just coming off track and knowing how much I've messed up. Driver ahead there slams into the wall, but I'm too far back to be able to make a move. I just don't have the pace. I don't have the confidence. And I'm just not used to these greasy conditions where you have to be so gentle. Normally in the dry, you can just be flat out or full on the brake like the entire time. You can see there as well, in this race, there's only 5 drivers. There's actually a 6th driver right behind me, because there was an issue with one of the carts. So one of the organisers was driving around. So yeah, that was a terrible feeling, knowing that I was being caught by a 6th driver in a 5-car race. And yeah, just visor up immediately, see how disappointed I am. I'd never do that normally, visor straight up after the race. But I just want to get out of there. Anyway, final heat now. It's really starting to dry up. A lot of corners are perfectly dry. There's still some wet patches. And starting on pole position. Now the inside is dry. So let's see what we can do. And it's lights out. And for once today, I actually get a good start. And I'm on the inside. Nice and grippy on the inside, I know from the previous race. Get it stopped, power out. Brilliant. And braking down, you want to be on the right. And I get slammed up the rear so hard by 2 drivers, and they just both go right past me. I'm not happy about that. And then the driver on the right slams me into the wall again. Driver behind him smashes into the back of him. That was the worst start I've been involved in all year. That does say how clean it has been most of the year, but that was just a terrible start. I understand it's greasy conditions. I don't understand what the hell anyone in that race was doing at the start. But yeah, it now means I'm in 4th place, and coming on to the final lap, you see I haven't really been able to close. I haven't dropped back either, so I had the pace to be able to win when I was in 1st. But yeah, coming up to the top corner now, you see the top 3 are just going to play 10-pin bowling with each other and slam into each other. It means I get up into 3rd, and then the top 2 collide again. So I was hoping they would spin each other around, but unfortunately not. That means I'm now in 3rd place finish. First time not finishing last all day. So yeah, at least that was something. But it does mean now that I qualified in last place. Obviously my worst qualifying performance ever. I know it's against the top drivers, but even so. But my fastest lap was actually reasonably quick, so it showed I did have the pace to match the front drivers. So going out in the D final, there's only 5 karts in this one. They kind of split it up a bit, so there weren't too many drivers in the first couple finals. But yeah, last place, top 2, progress through. I know I'm quicker than a lot of these drivers based on fastest lap. Let's see if we can make the progress. So I get a half decent start and decide to go a bit to the inside but then back out. and the inside was not the right way because I've just lost a lot of time. I go very conservative through the chicane, but turns out there's a lot of grip through the chicane, so I'm able to just power out, look up the inside, again back off, just really tentative, not wanting to really be aggressive at all. That means I'm actually losing time, and I need to be making these moves straight away. It's only 6 laps in this final. Normally it's 8, but again, because the track is so wet, they reduced the number of laps because the lap times were so long. And you can see I'm quicker than both these drivers ahead, but I need to get past them immediately if I want to challenge the top 2. See, coming up the top of the hill now, look up the inside, think better of it, but then that driver goes up the inside, and I'm just not able to follow through. So I'm just not where I should be. And then I think, oh, look up the inside, go for it, and straight into the wall. What a bonehead move from me. That was never on, and I paid the price for it. And I'm just sat there for over 10 seconds. I'm sat there, waiting. And these races are only a couple of minutes long. Yeah, I'm not happy with myself. But you can see going by on each lap, I'm actually gaining time, probably around half a second on each lap. I just have so much confidence now with the kart and with the grip. But I wasted it all on that stupid move, and by not being aggressive enough at the start. Yeah, coming onto this final lap now of the whole season, and it's almost flat out everywhere. Still quite greasy in parts. But yeah, coming up to the top corner now, and coming through, and I see a yellow flag ahead. And, oh, that looks very familiar. And yeah, you see another driver did probably exactly what I did. Means one position right at the end of the race. And that is the final checkered flag of the season. And here are the results. I finished down in 25th place. Obviously my worst finish of the whole season. It was very disappointing. I did set a reasonable fastest lap, certainly compared to those around me. I should have been higher. Should have been better in qualifying. Should have been better in that final. And the championship standings. My personal aim this year was top 25, and I got 21st place right at the end. I could have got 20th had I finished higher in the final standings. But unfortunately, due to that final round not being how I wanted it to be, I ended up 21st. Let's just look over some clips through the year. My first race of this season started with a crash into the barrier, and so did my last race. But it's been a really enjoyable year. I just want to say thank you to all the organisers, thanks to the marshals for every round. This has been an amazing championship to be a part of. It's been really well run. And I think the racing as well with a lot of the competitors has been really fair. Obviously they've had to give out some penalties, but I think again that's just made it a much better championship because people for the most part aren't just going to barge you out the way. It is quite respectful, and it's certainly something I want to do again next year. I'm hoping to do as many rounds as I possibly can. I have to wait and see what the calendar looks like next year and see how busy I am as well, but I've just really enjoyed this year. I think we can aim easily for a top 20, maybe higher. I know at the start of the year I just didn't have a lot of confidence, and that's where I lost a lot of points. But now I can just go head down straight from the beginning. So thank you very much everyone for watching, and I'll see you out there next year.